Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to a 1v1 on crossing in the woods to the north. That is IncaUna, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here rolling out with the... let's just go with 116th Panzerdivision Wienhund with Blitzkrieg, Lightning War, and Jaeger Infantry, Double Infantry, Panzerfaust versus South. That is Cheese Tonkatsu, fighting here for America, freedom, democracy. Meeting out justice for the American peoples here with the 6th Armored Division. Recon Recon support, featuring raid tactics, INR Pathfinders, airdrop combat groups, M8 Greyhounds, and M83 cluster bombs. The INR standing for intelligence and reconnaissance. Double infantry and a 50 cal bullets in there. We got no early Pathfinders here from Cheese Tonkatsu, but we do get, of course, gun these MU42 and a bunch of Riflemen. And as always, a big hearty thanks goes out to my patrons, supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacast keeping the business. You too can join the heroic and splendorous ranks by pledging on Patreon stuff. You know, just consider donating. Links are in the video description. And always, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, keep things from having YouTube send people over to break my kneecaps due to algorithms. Ground points on the west side, both focusing here as well, though there's a bit of force being dispatched eastwards here under Cheese Tonkatsu's command. Second grenade squad on the way to IncaUna. Tank tracks being hastily set up here. But there you go, MD42 Pioneers. They should be able to stop them. They're going to make a run for the building, but the MD42 opens up first, suppressing the reactions. They're still crawling though, frantically hoping to get inside the door and lock it behind them, and they do manage it. Denying the building there to IncaUna. At the same time, these side we got grenades being attacked for the Rifle Squad. We do get some INR Pathfinders out here for Cheese Tonkatsu as he strikes for democracy. The grenades up close are being mauled by the Rifle Squad, who have more or less 50% more DPS at close quarters. But there you go, the info to the Pioneers challenge the top. Now reactions are back on the fuel point, trying to grab it here under IncaUna's nose. Eastern point mixes by the Grenadiers there. Intense fighting with the Pathfinders moving forward here for Cheese Tonkatsu and the 6th Armoured. Of course, with access to the very powerful artillery barrage ability, which is probably, out of all the in-game artillery call-ins, is probably the most potent, simply because it's very accurate, very fast, and potent. Third Grenadier squad on the way there for IncaUna. Rifle squad heading northwards there. Can hit so fast that units don't even have a chance to retreat. Which really makes it weird they haven't done anything about it, considering how many other abilities they've just nerfed for that one alone. But anyways, third Grenadier squad almost done there for IncaUna. Bit of skirmishing there with the Pathfinders and the Pioneer. Skirmishing up north here between the Riflemen and the Grenadiers. Rifle, of course, looking to get closer to the Grenadiers, uprange the Grenadiers. Can actually beat the Riflemen. That's really only there, and of course requires the Riflemen to effectively voluntarily stay at range, which is always a bit of a tricky proposition. Even more so in companies when we had the same situation with the Volksgrenadiers and the Rifle Squad there. Pioneers routed. Moving forward here. Rifle Squad falling back. Here's more infantry arriving. Cheese Tonkatsu realizes he lost the initiative there and backs off, probably hoping to bait the Grenadiers into a closer quarters situation where the Riflemen can beat them. But the problem is, for now, with so many Grenadiers, it's going to be tough. We can also see IncaUna, of course, quickly makes, I think, a very smart decision. Basically realizing, bless us lost, we push eastwards instead, hoping that Cheese Tonkatsu is less prepared. So, good play there by IncaUna. Sometimes it can feel like a tough decision, but the best one can be to simply just shift sides on a map and just, try and make progress there. So good work there by IncaUna, swallowing down, that bitter pill and just accepting he must press forwards for Deutschland elsewhere. Now, of course, let's see what Cheese Tonkatsu responds with the machine, and they probably should retreat as well. Tech there for IncaUna. We got the Grenadiers versus Rifle Squad here. Still, Cheese Tonkatsu does get a bit of fuel lead over IncaUna in the early game with both fuel points under control, even however briefly that is. So that's definitely great for him. Plus, we got the Lieutenant out here. Could fill up with some light vehicles. In fact, it does. So could see a fast M20. That said, could also see the Stuart light tank. Also, with the recon support, it's not uncommon to see players go for Lieutenant the Captain and instead rely on the Greyhound. Looks like Cheese Tonkatsu is perhaps not quite relying on that, or perhaps he's going for some light vehicles and the Greyhound. Hard to say here. There's plenty of options there with recon support and the Americans. Fourth Grenadier squad here for IncaUna. 4 Grenadier builds are starting to get fairly popular once more. And just grab the eastern victory point there, grab the eastern fuel point as well. Seizing the western fuel point there. Pathfinders being visited here for Cheese Tonkatsu. Pioneers engaging the Pathfinders. Back at base here. Nothing further going on there for the Americans, the 6th Armored. In the east, we got Lieutenant Upman the Grenadiers here. No upgrades yet for the... We do get one squad that being upgraded, but no tech further, no light mechanized company, no Panzer Grenadiers, no doctrine. Worth noting, of course, two of the doctrines do feature G33s. There's a bit more up there, and the other two features do with close air support. So, and tactical movement. So, in fact, Jaeger Infantry also used to have tactical movements. In fact, you could argue all three hats. That is a sort of common point, but no longer, of course, the Jaeger Infantry. Power punch with beacons in the center. Thumbs up there. Got to use the outmaneuvering and surrounding the 10 here, pushing them back, possibly soon enough. Getting focused down with some good old German lead. After quarter time from South of the Grenadiers here. 2 men left. Need to retreat those Grenadiers soon before they get wiped out. Return the Orchids get out before the... Oh, that's going to be wiped, I think, unless Tonkatsu gets super lucky, which he didn't. That's a barrage here. Machine gun narrowly avoids it. That was quite the barrage here. Very lucky there for IncaUna, spotted in time, considering what everything was going on. And that was probably what Tonkatsu was hoping. He wasn't paying attention, because that's usually the best way to use artillery like this. Is just, you know, engage your opponent on large engagement somewhere else, and then, you know, when you think they're paying attention to that big engagement, you call in the artillery strike on another unit, get a wipe. In fact, that's how I usually did it with the American infantry company, or infantry doctrine artillery, back in Companies 1. That was usually the most effective way, just like, you know, catch them a big engagement, and then hit with the artillery on a unit they weren't paying attention to. Of course, that one was also fairly fast and accurate. Stuart Light Tank there for Tonkatsu, and the 6th Armored. So that ended up being 140 munitions kind of down the toilet. They again hadn't paid off. That, of course, within just an MD42 completely wrecked. So, you know, high risk, high reward. And even then, like, only medium risk, because it's not like he lost a unit. He just, you know, blew out some munitions. So, medium risk, high reward. So, it's ultimately kind of worth it. Particularly since this up that was quite nicely. That said, he ended up losing the lieutenant, so didn't quite pan out there as well for him. But still, light tank comes down here for Tonkatsu. Grand Western fuel point here. Lots of back and forth here between these two skilled players. Armoured car there for IncaUna, the 222. Like the Panzerspielwagen. Pioneer remaining forward here for IncaUna with their Flammenwerfer. Center being seized with the Pathfinders. We got the Stuart Light Tank force of the M5A1. Engaging the Grenadiers. Fun fact, the British in North Africa called the Stuart the Honey Stuart because it was really nice and easy to drive around in. On the other hand, the Soviets actually weren't impressed by the Stuart Light Tank, part because it had a slight time to catch on fire, but more importantly, because its engine was actually, I think that was the M3 one, not the M5, but the engine had a fairly low tolerance for fuel quality. Like, it needed really high quality fuel, the engine ran into issues, and the Soviets couldn't handle that logistically. So, little fun fact about the Stuart. Armored car, they're pushing back the Pathfinders. Paratroop dropped the combat group here for Tonkatsu. That's going to be a paratrooper squadron, of course, the Pack Howitzer, a formidable airdrop assembly of democracy. IncaUna, they're striking back hard here in the name of Deutschland. Pioneer Grenadiers to tank through the American lines. Stuart moving towards the center here. Sandbags up there, very good. Troops reinforcing healing. Paratroops dropping down. I imagine he'll be equipped with light machine guns once he has the munitions, though that said, Tonkatsu is a bit short munitions. There we go, Pack 40 almost on that thing. IncaUna stood in game the 2-2. Of course, should crew that Pack Howitzer as soon as possible. Begin blasting away at the goddamn Nazis with it. Almost got the Grenadier squad there. On the west side, we got reasons versus the Grenadiers there as well. Setting forward with his troops. Paratroops leading the way. Need to. I mean, with 42 munitions per minute, it's going to take him too long to get those light machine guns up. In theory, he could also save up for the bazookas, but I wouldn't say it's a current pressing matter here for Tonkatsu versus IncaUna. Usually better off trying most cases like that just to push the advantage in terms of murdering infantry, I would say. Grenadiers, Pioneers right here with the Rifle Squad, the Pathfinders, more Rifle Squad moving in there. Pathfinders was the armoured car. Stuart in the west are dealing with IncaUna's forces there. Rearson should reinforce, and I think grab that Pack Howitzer. The faster you get into action versus IncaUna, the better for Tonkatsu and the 6th Armoured Division. Rifle Squad pushing forwards here, Pack being pushed back. Fighting a first important gun is trying to threaten with a Panther Faust. Also allowing him to, gets off the fuel point there. Grenadiers down to 2 men, grab the eastern victory point there. Carve point hit there, grab another point there to make it much harder just to reconnect. And we do get a Greyhound out here for Tonkatsu. So the Stuart Greyhound combo. Fascinating. Fun fact, the ground actually replaces the Stuart light tank as a reconnaissance vehicle in the United States Army, which actually causes Stuart to be shifted towards more an infantry support role alongside the M8 Scott. Fun fact. Check out the ground moving forwards here, 5th cal on the way. Stuart fixed up there. 5th cal halfway down there on the Greyhound. And so we've got the Pack Ford machine moving up. The Stuart being a bit cautious there. Paratroopers there. Due to the 5th cal being upgraded to the ground, of course, are having their light machine gun upgrade a bit delayed. I do think that might have been a mistake there with Chiefs Tonkatsu, and obviously on the ground having the 5th cal is great, but I think long term having the Paratroopers with double light machines ready fast is going to pay off much bigger dividends for Chiefs Tonkatsu in the long run compared to the Greyhound with a 50 cal. I mean, you can always just upgrade it later, but again, it takes much longer to set up the missions again, I think, for the upgrade on the Paratroopers. That's just me anyways. That is just my perspective. Grand Wing 14 getting the armor car. Good shot there. Second pack for IncaUna. He's not trying to stall here for tier 3. It could, of course, also just be a response to the fact his opponent now has 2 light vehicles out on the field. The ground and the Stuart light tank, which could very understandably, cause IncaUna to get a bit concerned about the heavy presence of light vehicles. There you go, Packhouse joining in there. Bombardment here. Grand flanking up behind here. Could cause some heavy damage here. 2 of them. There you go, charging forward as well here. That's already IncaUna's getting caught off guard here by the Greyhound on the flank. They're pulling back. The Stuart takes advantage push here. They're really good push here by Chiefs Tonkatsu. This could get really dangerous here for IncaUna. There you go. Armored car down, but the vehicles are heavily damaged. I need to get out of there now. Packhouse keeps firing where the machine being routed. Rears need to get out as well there. Oh, Graham knocked out. The good kill there for IncaUna. Chiefs Tonkatsu did not expect the second pack 4 to arrive there. So it actually paid off there quite nicely for IncaUna. That was really intense then. A fairly solid push there for Chiefs Tonkatsu. If not for that second pack 40, that could have really left IncaUna in a sore spot. Finally upgrading the light machines and the Paratroopers, very good. And we got a 5th cal on the way there for Chiefs Tonkatsu and the 6th Armored as IncaUna 1 and 16th Panzer Division being hood pushes ahead. Pathfinder screaming the eastern fuel point as Pioneers ground the western fuel point. Looks like he's quick to push ahead. They're trying to exploit any opening here, possibly in Chiefs Tonkatsu's line, to set up a position that's going to be a bit difficult for his American opponent to deal with. There you go. Packhouse responding in violent kind, and there you go. Pioneers caught up with the rifle squad. Note, he's trying to maneuver the rifle squad in such a manner they block the Pioneers' retreat part of the bit and allow some more time to actually shoot them down and increase the chances of a wipe. But realizing they can't get it, he just backs off. Had they been BAR'd up, I think they could have pulled it off. But obviously, again, munitions are going towards upgrades for the light vehicles and, of course, to the Paratroopers. Because, 2 ground light machine guns to Paratroopers is really good. Machine gun there, though, catching the Paratroopers, immediately killing Lures there. I think the rest are going to fall back. In fact, they're pinned down already. Beautiful there for IncaUna. Painful for Chiefs Tonkatsu. Back hit reinforcing healing, so they're taking up soonish. He's still not retreating though. I think he's using the spotters for the pack cards, but I think that could quickly backfire him since down to 3 men and suffered quite heavily there. So I get the idea. I think the execution of it left out some critical elements. Roscoe picked up the Pioneers. The gun is in the west here. So we got 5 kills on the pack cards so far. We got 393%, 367. Rifling over against the Distance there. Good shot. Let's do a light tank moving forwards. West side we got Gunnies moving up here, backing up the Pioneer. Stuart gaining recency too. Ooh, Stuart down a significant... Oh, it's actually narrowly alive there, but really close call though. Really close call there though for Chiefs Tonkatsu. 5th gun of Pathfinder around time. He actually caught in the artillery barrage here, spending another 140 meters. He uses the decoy. Oh, cheeky Chiefs Tonkatsu. And it's definitely not the kind of decoy you want to call the bluff on, because if you're wrong, oh boy, that's gonna hurt. So thumbs up to Chiefs Tonkatsu. But in the west though, less great hits. Rifle squad is looking at an incredibly strong chance of getting annihilated. Yeah, they're done just 1 man, and down they go in a blaze of less glorious fire. No heck up there for Tonkatsu. As for IncaUna, Support Core can be built now. Could actually rush out to medium army here versus his opponent. 50 cal season eastern field point. So right now, IncaUna has a significant infantry lead with 4 grenadiers, 3 with light machine guns versus his opponent with just the paratroopers and the rifle squad. He is compensating with more 50 cals, but long term he should consider more infantry. As for IncaUna, Mortar could also be an idea here. Obviously the pack cards make him feel less incentivized towards doing it, but I still think Mortar in right place would be a good idea there. Paired with the Pioneer by the Western Munitions. Gunny's being forwards here. 5th cal holding up people decent field point to defend against any crowd attacks. Pairs with the tank into the Pioneer, close to getting a wipe there, but 2 grenadier squads proved to be a bit of a significant issue for the paratroopers. Bravo squad in the centre and up north here. Gunny's taking heavy fire there from the 5th cal. Got the Sturbing in as well there, 8 kills, but needs to be mindful of the Pack 40. He's trying to set up for a possible sneak till calling in the machine gun. Or perhaps the packs, I don't know, but he's definitely looking for the right time to strike. Or he's just using a spotter for the pack outs, which, you know, works too. Not a bad either way. Bravo goes to the gun to see. Grenade off. Didn't do too much there though, since they're in heavy cover, they take less damage from grenades. At least if they're thrown over the cover. If the grenades hit from another angle, where the grenade does not cross the heavy cover, they take full damage from the grenade. So that's a little bit of detail there as well, for those unawares. It was added as a late addition. It's just, you know, people just chuck grenades all over the place and just render heavy cover to an extent less useful. So Pomacor there, almost done. We got Blitzkrieg for IncaUna. Guessing we're seeing a command tank first to put pressure on his American opponent. Tonkatsu that really need to take up here, pushing out tanks, and there you go. Defeats Panzerkampfwagen fertig for IncaUna and for Deutschland. Grab Western points as well here. Finding some tech there for Tonkatsu. Very good, very good. Command tank going straight for the 5th cal there in the east. IncaUna showing no mercy there to his American opponent. The Shanghai Grenadiers versus the Stuart light tank, taking quite a bit of damage there. Up north, paratroopers having been all quick experience there with the Pioneers, so quick to move in and do some damage there. Grab Eastern point with the Grenadiers. Command tank pushing forward here for IncaUna. Hot on pursuing the Stuart light tank, spotting a beacon and firing away at it. Beacon is down. Not the biggest loss, of course. Tonkatsu that's very close to Sham. There you go. Double packs opening up the Stuart light tank. I'm knocking out and imagine the pack houses will be responding on the pack houses. He's hoping to hit the pack 40s, not pack houses, but pack 40s. Decent bit of damage, but I don't know, decent light bit of damage. I think would be a more accurate way to put it. IncaUna definitely looking to put as much pressure here on Tonkatsu as possible. Make it difficult for his opponent. Grierson's 5th cal rally here with the Pit Panzerkampfwagen 4. Sandbags up there in the east. We got troops moving forward to the Grenadiers. Advancing, grab Eastern fuel there. May give us the Grenadiers. Beacon destroyed. Stuart good to go once more for Tonkatsu. Jackson slowly on the way there. Perhaps the command tank is making him think there's a chance the opponent's going to go for tier 4, in which case, of course, he does want the Jackson to shut off like any possible Storm Panthers or Panthers. So, of course, a counter architect just to go for Shermans now to make it harder for IncaUna to stall into those. But, you know, that's just me. So, IncaUna's got good map control here. Definitely a problem for Tonkatsu. Needs to hit back hard at his opponent. 354 versus 295. Bit of a lead there for IncaUna with Tonkatsu. I definitely feel like one of the issues for Tonkatsu is just the lack of infantry versus his opponent. Like, if the Wehrmacht has more infantry squads than you're actually doing something wrong to some degree of the time at least. Because again, it just allows the opponent to like just fight more aggressively and outmaneuver more and put more pressure on it. Whereas again, Tonkatsu with effectively like 3 infantry squads in one is like, you know, not, I would say, full on frontline infantry. Can it make it much harder for you to like seize map control here? That's definitely something Tonkatsu needs to strongly look into here in the longer run. Nice hit from the pack cards there on the command tank. So rushing forward to the machine gun there. Backed up the 5th count. One thing you need to keep in mind though is the S-mines are going to eventually, like, you know, get cloaked again, at which point it's got this machine gun stuck in the middle of it and can't move it. In fact, they now just get set off. That's a bit awkward there. Cluster bombs off him, takes out one of the pack 40s, rushing forward. See, command tank, ultra full retreat here. Big push. Jack's moving in as well there. Ooh, that's the pack's about to get knocked out there. There we go. He's going to grab it and turn it against IncaUna. Will he destroy it? I think both are viable options here, but he definitely needs to make a choice. Soon we got another pack for the IncaUna, and there you go. Tonkatsu hauls off his opponent's pack 40 there. Thumbs up to Tonkatsu. That was a very solid push there, but still 50 count stuck in this minefield, suffering heavy losses. May want to go for some more medium armor soon. Ace level Stuart there. Could consider switching out the crew of the Stuart with the Jackson, so that way he gets more experience faster. Air recons off IncaUna, of course, quickly looking to surveil the situation. Get an idea as what his opponent's up to. Maybe like prepare some fresh attacks there. Not bad at all, not bad at all. Thumbs up to IncaUna. Thumbs up. Pack out finally going to easily. He's hoping to hit, but instead hits a bit of water there. Looks very flashy, but you know, doesn't kill any Germans. Very quiet otherwise. Paratrooper was the grenadiers. Full 4 there, in fact, bit of almost, in fact, full 3, not 4. But blobbed up all the way though. Does technically a great target for the pack cards, wasn't barraging somewhere else already. Panzer 4 regular there for IncaUna. Thumbs up. No silly tier 4 stall there. Predator in the center was the command tank. First shot fire there, the command tank got the pack cards. 5th going together. We've got Jack coming in there. Good hit, good hit. Eastern Victor won't see with the major. Could all grab Eastern fuel point. Artillery cold in here. Pathfinders. Yup. Pack that he's able to get out this time around. Command tank that actually suffers a damaged engine from it. That's a bit awkward there, but due to the pack 40s, Tonkatsu, unfortunately for himself, can't exploit this fully without risking the tank into the anti-tank, down to the tank destroyer. Otherwise, he could have taken it out there, I think. And certainly a part of it again is just the lack of infantry support his tanks and tank destroyers here against the Germans, whereas again, IncaUna has plenty of infantry support his armor with. Still taking a hit there from the pack 40. Bringing it off against the raft squad, this time we're doing a bit more damage, plus we got the IncaUna, and finally the Panther 4 arriving here. Full retreat from Tonkatsu in the centre there. Troops on the west are being suppressed, meeting heavy fire from both of the paratroopers. Paracasts are getting maybe 7 kills. Very good, very good. Nice hit there again. Cluster bombs off, they're causing some casualties there for IncaUna, but actually nothing significant. Although he has lost the Grenadier squad, so clearly something, you know, useful happening there for Tonkatsu. Very good for him. Less great for IncaUna. Panther for the right on the flank here. Paratroops Pathfinder's caught. And there you go. Further firepower there being unleashed. Should go for a tank now. Of course, Tonkatsu might be tempted just to go for another tank destroyer here versus IncaUna. Pathfinders are at this rate going to find themselves with a path directly to hell if they keep up with this. And yeah, down they go. Not entirely sure what happened there for Tonkatsu. Not entirely sure, but that definitely did not work out for him. Still about to get knocked out. Yep, got cleared out there by IncaUna's anti-tank guns. Could theoretically crude here, but likely I think that's still going to get destroyed. Either by IncaUna by Tonkatsu. Pack there cleared out, looking to deny to the Germans fully. Jackson forcing hit from the Panther 4. The Panther will get half health. Jackson, though this close, being destroyed itself. Got a Sherman on the way there for Tonkatsu. Thumbs up there. And center Panther 4 Pioneers Colonies moving up. Ralph going to deal with that. Back here, Jackson needed to repairs. Major moving up as well. Stud actually has been crewed up. Of reactions, yeah, I need to pop them up fast. I risk losing them once the Stud combusts, because that Stud cannot absorb a lot more damage here before it explodes. Jackson being fixed up, Sherman halfway done there. IncaUna could of course consider going for Stu. Kid Malak's just going to go for more Panther 4s. 3 and 14 with 222. We got Gunners with the Major in the east. Sherman almost done there for Chiefs Tonkatsu. Almost done. There we go. Sherman out for freedom. Democracy. Yeehaw. Counter-attack being launched here to keep the eastern field point and victory point on the Germans' hand. There's always Jacks in the front line. Of course, but the pack forces nearby as well and could make things uncomfortable for Jacks. Meanwhile, Panther Force trying here in the midst of Chiefs Tonkatsu's relief force there, causing great disruption there to Chiefs Tonkatsu's maneuvers. Great push there by IncaUna and Central coming up there. Pack 40 blasting away there though. Ground less than field point. Sherman covering it seems to have treated the Jackson, either intentionally or inadvertently. Purpose of cleaning up the Gunners. Pack 4 is exposed. We got more artillery from the center here from the Pack Harter, which is at 9 kills. Sherman going for the Gunners there. Purpose here, ace level by the way. Thumbs up. We got 314 versus 200 points. Sherman's the Gunners are going to be wiped out. We go. Pack 40's on the job once more, pushing back Chiefs Tonkatsu's Sherman. His M4A3. Fifth kill also good to go there. Almost got the eastern victory point. There we go. Just needs the western victory point. Can begin bleeding out IncaUna at a increased pace. Can go for another Panther 4 in a few moments. Though of course he could also be tempted to go for a Stug. As for Chiefs Tonkatsu, I think more Shermans right now would be a fairly solid option. Though he could also consider maybe a Scott here for some artillery support. They would probably recommend another Sherman before going for a Scott here. On the west side though, Panther exploiting the fact there's no anti-tank guns there, any armored support, allowing here for a quick grab there on the west side. Good work there. So thumbs up to IncaUna. Very good reading the situation there. American pack push back the Panther 4 there. Gunners under fire from both 50 cal and Sherman in the east. But the Sherman's getting bombarded here with the double packs there. We got artillery called in though, cluster bombs specifically, not quite artillery but their support. Trying to get them out there in time, and there we go. Both narrowly make it. Jackson arriving, but not enough. Then the center got James ground the point on the west side. Further securing there of terrain by IncaUna and by Deutschland. In the center, 50 cal there, holding up. Pack cards are blasting away there with high explosive shell, unleashing a torrent of death upon the Germans' heads. Nice run away there for Chiefs Tonkatsu. Very good. 50 cal machine crew there being pulled back as most of their squad blows to bits. My God, they got Ludwig? How can you tell? Well, he's not here, is he? Well, that's not an argument. He could be out for, like, I don't know, cigarettes. Cigarettes? On this part of the front? You may have a point. He could be dead. Now the Panther forms on the IncaUna. Packard's landing a shot there, but sadly for Chiefs Tonkatsu, it bounces. Jackson misses. Perez getting sawn to bits out in the open of both the command tank and the Gunners with a light machine gun. Jackson lands the shot. Sherman almost done. Moving bad here with the pack cards. Half feet to Vetsny in the ace level there. Halfway. But Chiefs Tonkatsu is really time for an infantry, whereas again IncaUna manages to keep his full squad size. That's 4 squads, which is really good for him, of course. Very solid play there, very consistent. Meanwhile, again, Chiefs Tonkatsu, as you might notice, is increasingly struggling with map control because he lacks more and more infantry, which makes it harder not just to defend, but also attack and grab territory. Whereas again, IncaUna for Gunners squads can just more consistently put up attacks, but also, set up fairly decent defenses at the very least. So, thumbs up there to IncaUna. Good play there. 50 cal wipe. A stinging blow there to Chiefs Tonkatsu in the 6th Armored Division as they watch their men getting shot to bits in front of their eyes. North here got the Panzer IV getting here, American infantry to the major, specifically here by the northern point. Another surface cluster bomb C. This time though, machine being caught in it. Pack as well there. Pack cleared out this time around. Push here by Tonkatsu, 2 Shermans going ahead there. Could clear out the pack, Jackson flying, but infantry support is much more limited here though. For Tonkatsu, Sherman damage to the engine there. Panther taking heavy damage. You got smoke shooting off here from the Shermans on the pack. Thumbs up the Tonkatsu. The assault goes in deep. The problem is the support isn't there. The pack took too much damage already. And the Shermans about to go down. And the Jackson's striking all the smoke to actually hit there. More smoke being deployed this time by the Germans. It's complete pandemonium. There you go. 1 Sherman busto. 2nd Sherman combust as well. Leaving only the Jackson tanks are left here for Tonkatsu. And he didn't even get a single German tank out of this. Destroying on Pack 40 for 2 Shermans is a pretty terrible trade-off there for Tonkatsu. That was not a great attack. It was not the worst either, but by most metrics that was not good at all. I mean, he lost 2 tanks, didn't even get a single tank in return. Going for the Scott now, a bit of mobile artillery support there. Makes sense, but not entirely sure that's going to work out, and again, doesn't really fix the one of the primary issues, which is again the significant lack of infantry here from Tonkatsu. Whereas again, his opponent still has 4 full grenadier squads, and he lost 1 opposite one point, but was quick to replace. Whereas Tonkatsu really hasn't done anything to replace loss. There you go, 50 got quickly wiped out, and there you go, down it goes. Another stinging blow here to the Americans, another victory for Deutschland. Scott almost done. Here's with the Grenadiers. Paratroopers out here for Tonkatsu. Scott out. Jackson shoots whiffs. Paratroopers the machine gun. Panther 4 rolling up as well here. Another Panther 4 for IncaUna. Another Panther 4 for Deutschland. Jackson shoot whips, Panther 4 there. Dealing with the paratroopers in the most efficient and violent manner. Pack out of ring down. There's Scott joining as well there. But it's not enough here to really deter IncaUna's forces from existing. Panther 4 taking some nasty hits here, down to half health. Still, Tonkatsu's forces are narrowly hanging on here. And for every moment that passes, it becomes, I think, tougher and tougher for Tonkatsu to hold on against IncaUna and the German army. It needs to have more pressure here from IncaUna. Very good. Thumbs up. West side here, Grenadiers ground Western victory point. We got 281 versus 155. Command engaging the Scott. We need to move forwards. That catch was holding up there for IncaUna. And it's almost wiped out. Close to death, but somehow they manage. And another paratrooper drop here for Tonkatsu, but I feel like in this case it ends up being a bit too late, unfortunately for him. A bit too late. Should have gone for this much sooner than he actually did. Partly again from the infantry, also on the wall. I still think on this map would have done him much more good than he did at this point in fact, which kind of already, you know, being ground to dust here beneath 1,000 German tread. Well, you know, 8 treads, or 4 sets of treads, but you know, details. Jackson about to get knocked out. IncaUna goes in deep against Tonkatsu, and same being cleared out there as well. Jackson down, Ambulance about to get knocked out as well here. Hack's about to get knocked out. Has popped up the medics, but still that's going to be slowed, and there you go with that. Tonkatsu realizes it's a loss, and we see IncaUna winning here. GG, game over. A spectacular fight here on Crossing in the Wood. At the end, Tonkatsu feel like one of the major issues just that undid him was the lack of infantry as the game went on. Plus, you know, at times he could have been, you know, more aggressive in terms of hitting his opponent on the flanks, and some artillery, you know, more smoke screen, I think, doing the attacks would also help out better. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, tell minis. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.